Hi, I am Dr. Elina Hartwell. Welcome to my channel. After the age of 70, people do not mainly suffer because they are getting older. They suffer because many of their deepest psychological needs quietly stop being met. And sadly, society often misunderstands what seniors truly need most. People assume older adults only need medication, financial support, or physical care. But from a psychological point of view, the human mind still longs for the same emotional needs it always did: connection, meaning, dignity, purpose, and love. In fact, after 70, these emotional needs often become even more important. Because this stage of life brings enormous psychological changes. Retirement changes identity. Loss changes emotional stability. Aging changes independence. Loneliness becomes more common. And many older adults begin quietly struggling with feelings they rarely talk about openly. Feelings like, I no longer matter. I feel invisible. I don't want to be a burden. My life feels smaller now. And when these emotional struggles remain ignored, mental health slowly declines. Not because aging itself is hopeless, but because emotional needs are being neglected. As a psychologist, I can tell you something important. The seniors who age most peacefully are not always the healthiest or wealthiest. They are often the people whose emotional world remains nourished. So in this video, we're going to talk about the 5 things people over 70 psychologically need most, and why these needs become essential for emotional well-being, mental peace, and healthy aging. The first thing people over 70 need most is meaningful connection. Not just being around people, real emotional connection. One of the greatest psychological dangers in older adulthood is loneliness. And loneliness after 70 is often deeper than people realize. Friends pass away, children become busy, social circles shrink, mobility changes, life becomes quieter, and many seniors slowly begin feeling emotionally disconnected from the world around them. But here's the psychological truth. The human nervous system never stops needing connection. No matter how old someone becomes, the brain still needs emotional closeness, conversation, warmth, and belonging. In fact, research consistently shows that chronic loneliness increases the risk of depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, and even physical illness. But psychologically, loneliness is not simply the absence of people. It is the absence of feeling emotionally seen. Many seniors are surrounded by others, yet still feel invisible. The solution psychologically is intentional connection, not shallow interaction, meaningful interaction, talking, listening, sharing memories, feeling valued, feeling emotionally included. Sometimes a simple conversation can protect a person's mental health more than people realize. Because what many older adults truly fear is not aging itself, it's emotional abandonment. The second thing people over 70 need most is a sense of purpose. This is one of the most overlooked psychological needs in aging. Many people unknowingly build their identity around roles: career, parenting, productivity, responsibility, achievement. But after retirement and later life transitions, many of those roles change. And psychologically, some seniors begin wondering, what is my purpose now? Without purpose, emotional decline often accelerates. Why? Because purpose gives the mind direction. It gives people a reason to emotionally engage with life. Research in psychology consistently shows that people with a strong sense of purpose experience better emotional health, stronger resilience, and greater life satisfaction. Now, purpose after 70 does not have to be grand or dramatic. It can be mentoring younger people, helping family, creative hobbies, community involvement, spiritual growth, gardening, teaching, volunteering, sharing wisdom. The key psychological need is feeling useful and meaningful. Because when people feel their existence still matters, emotional vitality remains alive. The third thing people over 70 need most is dignity and respect. This is deeply important psychologically. One of the quiet emotional pains many seniors experience is feeling dismissed or infantilized. Society often begins treating older adults as less capable, less relevant, or less important. And over time, this can deeply damage self-worth. Many seniors begin feeling invisible in conversations, ignored in decisions, excluded from meaningful participation. Psychologically, this creates emotional pain because human beings never outgrow the need for dignity. Everyone wants to feel respected. Everyone wants to feel heard. Everyone wants to feel that their life experience still has value. The psychological solution is simple but powerful. Treat older adults like emotionally intelligent human beings, not burdens. Ask for their opinions. Listen to their stories. Include them in decisions. Acknowledge their wisdom and experience. Because respect nourishes emotional health, and loss of dignity quietly destroys it. The fourth thing people over 70 need most is emotional safety. As people age, emotional stress often affects them more deeply. Conflict becomes more exhausting. Chaos becomes more draining. Negativity becomes harder to tolerate. And many older adults begin craving emotional calmness. Psychologically, emotional safety means feeling secure enough to relax mentally, feeling accepted instead of judged, feeling supported instead of criticized, feeling peaceful instead of constantly stressed. Unfortunately, many seniors continue living around emotional tension, family conflict, toxic relationships, unresolved pain, criticism, or emotional neglect. And over time, chronic emotional stress damages both mental and physical well-being. The solution psychologically is creating emotionally peaceful environments. Healthy aging often requires stronger boundaries, less drama, supportive relationships, predictable routines, and emotionally calming experiences. This is why emotionally healthy seniors often become more selective about where they invest their energy, because peace becomes psychologically necessary, not optional. The fifth thing people over 70 need most is hope and emotional meaning. This may be the deepest psychological need of all. Many seniors silently struggle with thoughts about mortality, loss, regret, and fear of becoming irrelevant. And when people lose hope, emotional decline accelerates quickly. But psychologically, human beings need something to emotionally hold on to, a reason to wake up tomorrow, something meaningful beyond fear and limitation. Research in psychology consistently shows that hope improves emotional resilience, mental health, and even physical well-being. Now, hope does not mean denying reality. It means believing that life can still contain joy, connection, growth, love, purpose, peace, and meaningful experiences, even after loss, even after hardship, even after aging. Emotionally healthy seniors often continue finding meaning in small but powerful things: family moments, nature, faith, friendship, creativity, humor, service, love. Because psychologically, meaning protects the human spirit. Now, here's something important many people misunderstand about aging. People over 70 do not suddenly stop being emotionally human. They still feel loneliness, still feel fear, still feel hope, still need affection, still want to matter. The body ages, but emotional needs remain deeply alive. And sometimes, what older adults need most is not advice, it's emotional presence. Someone who listens, someone who notices them, Someone who reminds them they are still valuable. Because one of the greatest psychological wounds in aging is feeling forgotten. And one of the greatest emotional healings is feeling remembered. If you are over 70 watching this, understand this clearly. Your need for connection, dignity, meaning, peace, and purpose is not weakness. It is part of being human. And if you have older parents, grandparents, relatives, or loved ones, remember this. The way you emotionally treat them shapes their mental well-being more than you may realize. Sometimes a conversation matters more than a gift. Sometimes listening matters more than advice. Sometimes simply making someone feel included can change their emotional world completely. Aging is not just a physical process. It is an emotional journey. And the seniors who age most peacefully are often the ones whose emotional needs continue being nourished with care, respect, and human connection. If this video spoke to you, write in the comments, what do you think older adults need emotionally the most? And if you know someone over 70 who needs this reminder, share this video with them. Sometimes people need to hear that they are still deeply valuable, no matter their age. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more psychology-based conversations about aging, emotional health, relationships, and human behavior. And remember, people do not stop needing love, meaning, and connection because they grow older. In many ways, they need those things even more.